Hi, this is Shaquita with Sweet Rubies. Thank you for watching today. Today I am a part of an amazing collaboration with a group of YouTube women as we celebrate a word for mother. To find more information as well as the other videos in the collaboration, please look in the description below. My word for mother is strong. I am a strong woman because a strong woman raised me. Growing up, my grandma Ruby, who I named my business after, used to tell us, "Give me my flowers while I'm alive. They'll be no good to me when I'm gone." Here's a great way for me to celebrate her. Here's my mom. She's a cancer survivor. She raised two amazing children on her own, and I love her to death. Happy Mother's Day. To start, we are going to take 7 cupcakes of any flavor. You just push them to the side. I'm going to show you just a little bit on how I decorate the cupcakes and then on how we put them together in the bouquet. I take a piece of plastic wrap. I take 2 different colors of icing. This bouquet is going to be yellow and white only because yellow is my favorite color. Any tips that you want? I will go ahead and say that most of these huge Russian tips, I am no good at. I'm terrible at it. But hey, you got to always give it your best shot. So you're going to take a little bit of the white icing and you'll put it down. You'll smooth it out with your spatula. And then you're going to take a little bit of whatever other color icing and put it in the middle. You'll roll that up. I'm a little excessive with the rolling, I'm sorry. Just make sure that the yellow is completely encased inside of the white. Then you're going to cut off the end up to the icing. You're going to put a tip in. And what I'm using, it's like a miniature. No, that is actually a 1M tip. And we are going to make a rose using the 1M. I wanted to make sure to get it completely over the edge. That's so pretty. So that when it's in the cupcake bouquet, you won't be able to see any of the cupcake on the side. Okay, next we're moving on to our sunflower. I normally put a dollop of chocolate icing in the middle, but didn't have any. So I'm going to use some black jimmies. Spread out the little circle on the side. I did not like the way that it did not fully cover them, so I went back over with some black sprinkles and added it as well. Next, I'm going to take my piping bag with my leaf tip. And I'm just going to squeeze a little yellow icing in there. I also need to add that it was so hot when I made this video that my icing softened up a little bit. But it's okay. It still turned out wonderfully. So you just pull them straight out. The bottom row I don't really worry about. You can leave it with one row, but I always go directly above it. I actually purchased a little turntable that I never used, so I thought this was the perfect opportunity. Still wanted to pick up the cupcake. We are creatures of habit. For the next cupcake, I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I am going to do it in reverse. I'm putting the yellow icing down. And then I'm going to put a little bit of the white in the middle. For this one, I attempted to use a mini star tip, but it just wasn't working for some reason. Which is another great reason why I really, really enjoy using the plastic wrap, because I can just take it out the bag and pop it in another bag with another tip, as you'll see I'll do in this video. So you just take it out and put it in a whole different bag. I'm going to attempt to use these Russian piping tips, which did not work well. So I went ahead and made some mini roses using a mini star tip. I'll put them to the side. I spread a little icing on the bottom of a cupcake, and then I used one of the Russian tips to make these terrible white flowers. Then you will put them in the freezer for about 20 minutes. Before I do that, I will add a leaf tip to a bag of green icing to pipe leaves on this cupcake, as well as the ugly one with the Russian piping tip. Now we're going to put them in the freezer and start on our cupcake base. So you need a stapler, some ribbon, tape, a 6-inch board, 7-inch cups, and some gift tissue paper. We are going to staple the cups together, as you can see, 2 at a time. I figured out that you really need to get all the way down to the bottom in order to staple them and make them stick. Once we do that, we will staple them all together to make 6 on the outside and 1 in the middle. While I'm fumbling with these cups to get them stapled, I also wanted to remind you to check below in the descriptions and check out the other amazing women that's in this collaboration as we celebrate a word for our mother for Mother's Day. Once all the cups have been stapled, they should be in this form and will fit perfectly on your 6-inch board. I did place a little glue under the bottom, but I'm a worrywart, so I went ahead and reinforced them by placing glue on the side. I took one sample cupcake. Yes, I took a bite out of it. It was delicious. Just to make sure that they would fit into the cupcakes. So now we're going to take our green tissue paper and we are going to fold it over on itself. I attempted to use my old craft, yes, it's very old, X-Acto knife, and it didn't work, so I went and got something better. Y'all, this cutting wheel cuts. It cut all through the tablecloth, which is why I am so glad that I used the tablecloth. So I started by cutting the squares and I realized that they were a little too small. So once I found the correct size, I knew what size to make the remaining squares. Once you cut those, you'll just set them to the side. Once I was finished, I went ahead and took all of the scraps and placed them on the inside of the cups. I didn't have enough scraps, so I got some blue tissue paper out and filled up the remaining cups, as well as added more to the cups that already had the green in them. Next, I'm going to take my roll of cello paper that I got off Amazon. I will also link that in the description. And I went ahead and cut down to a size that I thought would be best to wrap the bouquet in. Y'all see how it cuts straight through this tablecloth? Shortly after that, I got my yellow tissue paper out. I got 2 sheets, but then I realized I wanted to work with 1 sheet at a time. So I did that, and I am using hot glue on the inside crease of the cup. You hot glue it and you just stick it in there, hold it for a few minutes. It's a little hot, so I'm glad I'm wearing gloves. And as you can see, it creases completely around the cups. So you'll go all the way around. I realized that the first layer of yellow tissue paper was not even, but that's okay. I corrected it with the second layer, which I then glued off camera. I'll turn it upside down and I'll take my cello paper and arrange it how you want it. I'm just using a new thing of flour to hold it in place while I attempt to wrap the ribbon, which did prove to be a little challenging. I decided to go ahead and place a little glue on the back of it just to hold the ribbon in place. Then turned it around and tied the bow. It worked perfectly. Turn it upside down and there you go. All situated. It was still looking a little wild, so I knew that I needed to do something to tame all of the additional tissue paper and cello paper. So here is where your tape comes in. You are going to fold the cello paper and the tissue paper, make a crease, and then take a piece of tape. A good piece of tape, and fold it on the other side. And you'll keep doing this all around until it actually has the shape of a bouquet. What I learned was best is once you fold the cello paper in, then you tape the tissue paper part to another piece of tissue paper, and that way it stays up. Once I have finished creasing and taping, I went ahead and made my bow. Cut off the excess ribbon. Look how cute. Got my cupcakes out the freezer, and as you can see, they are frozen solid, so they did not move and nothing got on me. I took a piece of my green sheet that I had cut up, and I put it at the bottom of the cup and then put the cupcake directly on top. This one was my least favorite, but I kind of actually love it the most. And there you have it. It's all done. I'm in love with it. If at this point, once you put the cupcake in, you are still not satisfied with the way you cut the yellow tissue paper or whatever color you use, you can then go ahead and trim it, which I am going to do. And now it's done. I love it. I added a flower pick to it with a little card that said Happy Mother's Day that I intend to deliver to my mom. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.